Hey folks, welcome to another edition of PlayBranson, where you get to know Branson's entertainers better. My name is Chris Meyer. I'm going to be your host for today. And on today's show, I have an awesome guest, one of the best entertainers, not only in Branson, but I would say in the entire country. And it is Dean Z, incredible entertainer. You're going to hear about his new show in Branson. You'll get to learn a little bit about his history and how he got where he's at. And you won't want to miss this show. Dean is really has been he's an elite group of folks when it comes to Elvis impersonators. Plus, he does a lot of his own stuff as well. And I do have a couple of interesting facts about Elvis I do want to share with you. Did you know Elvis had a twin named Aaron? Most people probably don't know that. Elvis bought Graceland for $102,500 when he was only 22 years old. And today, Graceland is one of the top visited tourist destinations in the United States. Of course, it's in Memphis. You can go there and visit it. Elvis also served in the Army after he was famous. And not very many people do that. I do have a personal story. I have mentioned this periodically on the show, is I am in a picture with Elvis getting into his car. He was in Harrison, Arkansas when I was a kid. He stayed at the Ramada Inn there, and as he was getting in the car, I was in the background as he got in his car. So there's my Elvis story. Folks, you're not going to want to miss this episode. You want to hear about everything that's going on with Dean Z. So stay tuned and we'll be back. Hey folks, welcome back to PlayBranson, and I am really excited about our guest today. Today I have Dean Z on the show, and Dean, it's been a long time since you've been here. It's like a couple of years, I think.
It has been, Chris. It's good to see you, man. I hope you guys have been doing good through everything, and it's good to be back home in Branson. I've been on the road for the last few years since I last saw you, and so it's nice to be home for a little while.
So I saw that, like, you've got a show, and that's why we're going to talk about that, but I was kind of surprised to see that, and we're going to talk about that. But you've performed like either once or twice a year in Branson, and I try to go to those every time I can. But I know there's people out there that watch that they don't know who you are, right? And they don't know your background, and so we've got to tell them, and that's kind of part of the format of our show,
sure,
the history. Man. So talk to people about how you got into this business and your history.
I'd be happy to. You know, I'm a big Elvis fan, first of all. Before I'm a performer, I've always considered myself to be an Elvis fan. I started really enjoying Elvis when I first saw him on television when I was 3 years old. And my mom and my dad really didn't even like Elvis. There was no Elvis pictures or records or anything like that at our house. And so one day, out of the blue, turned on the TV, my parents sat me down, and just Elvis was there. Elvis was on TV. And I initially thought that I was kind of seeing like a superhero, like Superman or something, and like the cape and all the flashes going off. And it was like magic, you know, and this charisma that you can just feel instantly. And so I cleared off our living room coffee table and started dancing and mimicking what I was seeing as a 3-year-old, as a toddler. And my mom and my family thought it was really cute. And so they let me sing at my sister's talent show for her school. She's older than I am, and so I sang Jailhouse Rock, and that's on YouTube somewhere. I think my mom posted it.
How old were you when that happened?
I was 3 years old.
3, okay.
That was March 17th, 1987.
Oh my gosh!
It's on the video, and I sang Jailhouse Rock, and every time I'd kind of shake or move, the audience would react, and they'd scream, and the girls would kind of go crazy, and I was thinking to myself, man, I like this. I can totally get used to this. And so from that moment on, I had got the bug, you know, and I've been shaking like that ever since.
Okay. And so you went out, I see here that you went out to Vegas at the age of 17.
I did.
So that's a pretty young age.
It really is, you know, like, and I grew up in Southern California, so I was performing throughout my entire childhood and into my teenage years, all through high school, and doing little shows here and there. But I knew that Las Vegas, for what I do, was going to be the launching pad for my, you know, performance career. And so I decided to move out there. We had a small show in Laughlin, Nevada, and that's kind of where I got my start. Then we moved to Las Vegas, and this is out of high school and just out of my first semester of college doing film and television production. So I went to Vegas with this dream of being a performer and you know, probably $150 in the bank and literally just trying to make something out of nothing. And I got really lucky, you know, and I was around a lot of people that performed all the time and really learned the craft on the job, you know.
Okay. And so what happened after that?
Well, I started connecting with a great show called Legends in Concert, and their home is in Las Vegas. I had seen Legends in Concert when I was 10 years old, and I knew I wanted to be in that show. So as I moved to Vegas, I decided I was going to audition again, and they came and they hired me, and I was really lucky. So I toured with them all over the country. And basically moved here to Branson. It was supposed to be for 4 months, and that was 13 years ago.
Wow! And so you've made Branson your home.
Yes.
No matter where you're traveling and what you're doing.
Yes, Branson. I fell in love with this area, you know, and I think you understand why. It's a really great spot. It's a really great place to raise a family, and also you get to enjoy your job, you know, get to go sing and also get to go back home, mow the grass and have a real life. It's not like as busy and as crazy as Vegas was. And so I really fell in love with this area and the idea that you can have both things, a really great family life and also a cool performance life. And so that was the plan, and we set up roots here. I moved my whole family here from California. My brother, sister, my mom, and my dad. We all were here together, and so it's been a really great experience being here in Branson and getting to know everybody like yourself. And we're a really cool community, and I like that sense of community.
Yeah.
And so when we started this new show, the outreach from the community has been so cool because being a part of the community, it's been nice to bring our road show here to Branson.
So I want to back up for just a second because you, and it says here in 2013, decided it was time to go after the title of Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
Sure, yeah. You know, every year, Elvis Presley Enterprises holds a worldwide search for that year's best Elvis, the greatest Elvis, or the ultimate is the name of the title. And so every year around the world, there's preliminary contests. Hundreds of Elvis tribute artists compete, and it whittles down to the semifinals in Memphis, Tennessee that are held during Elvis Week. And it's the only sanctioned Elvis Presley Enterprises contest. And I was fortunate enough in 2013 to qualify for it and went to Memphis that year. And out of the 35 winners that went to Memphis, it was whittled down to 5, and then finally I was declared the winner of this contest. And it was my first time trying it and competing in it. And that really kind of changed the entire game for me. I started performing on a tour called the Elvis Lives tour. It's a sanctioned Elvis Presley Enterprises tour, and we toured the entire country and into Singapore as well. And that title kind of opened up the door to really a great national exposure, or international exposure rather, because it is an international title. And because of that, now I work side by side with Elvis Presley Enterprises as an ambassador to the estate and a contributor to their creative for Elvis Week every year, and an on-screen personality. So it's really fun, man. I get to live my dream because I'm as I said, Elvis fan. Even the fact that Elvis Presley Enterprises know I exist is already like pinch me kind of moment. So getting to work with them is an honor. Yeah.
And so from this, you've really been able to travel the world.
Yes, sir.
Right?
I have, yeah. Elvis is global. It's incredible, Chris, how you can just say the name Elvis in any country and people know who you're talking about. And so and it's because the music applies and appeals to everybody and everyone feels it. And it doesn't have a date stamp on it. It's really an all ages kind of thing. And so, yes, all over the world, we tour in England every year, Scotland, Japan. I've been to all over Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand. I mean, global phenomenon and with Elvis Presley. So I'm very lucky.
Yeah, I do have to say your sister used to be my bank teller.
Oh yeah,
it has nothing to do with the show, but when you say your whole family moved here, I do know that's true because she used to take my deposit.
Yeah, and she's a great singer in her own right too. She really is. She sings on the weekends as well, and my brother plays guitar in my show, and so yeah, it's kind of always been a family thing for us. We've always loved music.
So. Well, I'm just looking at the clock. This is a great stopping point. I was like, oh, we got to go. Here we go. We'll stop here, and we'll be back in just a second.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to PlayBranson. We're here with the one and only Dean Z. And Dean, you have a new show in Branson.
I do.
I'm so excited about it.
Man, I'm really excited about it. You know, obviously due to COVID, all my touring schedule, we had about 18 months of tours set up. And all of it one by one just started falling off the calendar. And the silver lining is I got to be home with my family. I have an 11-month-old daughter and got to be dad for the last 8 months. But we are so excited to announce that we have been performing here in Branson with our show called Dean Z, The Ultimate Elvis. It's the title that I wanted Memphis. And it's basically the 20 years of Elvis's rock and roll career in a 2-hour concert. It's not even a show where you would normally have a script and tracks that run. It's a full live concert and live horn section, great, amazing singers, incredible band, the Royal Rhythm Crew, and the B-Town Horns and the Delta Tones. This is an amazing group of talented people, and we're there at the Clay Cooper Theater, right there across the street from Titanic. So we're so grateful for that. We've been doing the Elvis show here. We've got it the rest of this month, and then also in November and December, we're going to be bringing our Dean Z's Rockin' Christmas show, which is our big band rock and roll Christmas show.
So that will not be just Elvis.
No, that'll actually be all. I kind of describe it, Chris, as like all the 1950s and 60s retro music that you would have decorated your Christmas tree to. It's really high energy, very different than maybe your standard kind of Christmas format. It's much more in a very high energy concert vibe. And the song selections cover, Chuck Berry, Brian Setzer, Elvis, of course, is in there. But then we also feature some of the female singers like the Ronettes and some of the music from Phil Spector's Christmas catalog from the 1960s. So it's a very high energy jump rhythm and blues kind of show. And so we're really excited to bring that to Branson. We debuted it last year as a one-nighter, and now it'll be a full run.
So really, folks, if you think about this, Branson has benefited from COVID because we actually get Dean Z more. Really? I mean, because if COVID hadn't happened, you wouldn't be doing this stuff.
I mean, everything happens I find the silver lining in everything. That's really what you have to do is find this positivity. And the silver lining is this opportunity wouldn't have been there for me and my family to be home and to still bring our productions, our road productions, to Branson. And so there is, for me, a very strong silver lining in that, and I'm very fortunate that we have that opportunity. Now,
during COVID, you did some videos.
We did.
And I saw one of them where, everybody was changing, and that was pretty crazy. And I'm sure that took quite a while to put together.
We were in quarantine and we got bored, So we're just let's start making some funny videos, and so yes, there's one particular song though. I think the one you're talking about is my brother, my wife, and myself, and we're doing a song called Rubberneckin', and then every so often, the person that's wearing the clothes that was sitting here is then wearing the clothes of the person next to them. And it changes and it's actually really confusing to watch, but I have to say my wife definitely looked the best in the leotard setup. It was not very very becoming of me at all.
Well,
but I did my best.
But here's the deal. It was creative. And so I went and saw your Elvis Unplugged. I think did you do that in February?
We did that. Yes. Well, actually, I think we did it. It was our first show back after lockdown. So I believe it was July.
Maybe. Okay. Well,
or the end of June.
I didn't even remember.
And it was such a really cool. That was my first show back after being off since February.
That's right.
And it was really a unique atmosphere for that. You know, we tried to, with social distancing and with that being so early in all of our knowledge of COVID, we really tried to format a show that made sense for folks and still felt like an intimate jam session, very similar to those videos that you were watching online during the
well, and I remember this now because I was sitting in the very, very back, and the whole place was full based on social distancing.
Yes.
And it was like just an acoustical type set because you play guitar.
Sir. I do.
It's not just a prop.
No,
it's not.
I play. A lot of guys just use it as a prop. My brother and myself, we grew up playing music, so I play 6 instruments. My brother plays several instruments, and so I've always just been drawn to music.
Yeah, and so first of all, I've said on the Branson entertainers are awesome. They all are. But when you think about Dean Z is he's like the complete entertainer. You know how to move, you know how to sing, you know how to play, but you also know how to interact with an audience.
Oh, thank you.
And
my favorite part is talking with people and connecting. And that's the thing that I missed most during all of this was the human connection of making music and having that group experience. It's so important to us in culture to have that connection. Otherwise, we kind of become isolated entities, and so music and concerts, we're able to do it right now, and we're able to do it safely and also still get that connection, which is literally right now the best of both worlds for us.
Yeah. So here's the deal, folks. You may not have known Dean Z was back in Branson because really this show was, you didn't announce it 8 months ago that you were doing this.
Right.
And so as the word gets out, I think it's going to get harder and harder to get in because as people find out Dean Z's here and they start to see the show and word of mouth, it's going to blow up because it's new, it's different, but it's also Dean Z.
Oh, thanks, man.
And so, folks, Clay Cooper Theater. Now, he's just a couple days, three times a week normally. So Monday and Friday at 7:30, and Wednesdays at 2. Now, there could be a few times where that schedule's a little different, but 90% of the time, that's what it is, right?
Yes, and the full schedule for the entire year is available at Clay Cooper Theater with an R-E, claycoopertheater.com, and also deanz.com have the full run of schedules, and you can actually buy your tickets right there online as well. And it's really great. We're doing it the safest way we can, social distancing and skipping every other row, so it actually kind of feels like a VIP event. Each person has almost like a section to themselves, so it's really safe, and the feedback has been so positive, Chris, and town has got a little buzz about it right now, and so people are coming to Branson and traveling from outside of Missouri to come see it, which is cool.
So kind of unrelated, this weekend they had a parade down at the Branson Landing, and there's all these trucks and cars, and literally they were from everywhere from California to Delaware to Florida. And so this is one of the safest vacation destinations in the country. And I always say 99.8% of people don't have COVID in our county. And we're doing the things to try and be safe. But folks, there's nothing like live entertainment. And we need live entertainment to continue. And you need to support it. And so here's a great way to support live entertainment. Come see Dean Z at the Clay Cooper Theater in Branson, Missouri, now through the end of Christmas. So Dean, any parting words?
Man, I'm just really grateful for the opportunity to talk about everything on your show. Thanks for having me, and I can't wait to see everybody at the show. Come see us.
Okay, folks, go see Dean Z. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hey there, everyone. This is Elvis tribute artist Dean Z. Branson, I'm back. I am so excited to be bringing my own show, Dean Z, the Ultimate Elvis, to Branson, Missouri. Now, this is a very high-energy journey through Elvis's entire musical career, including the rock and roll of the 1950s, the 1960s movie catalog, the 1968 Black Leather comeback special, and the infamous Las Vegas performances. And it's all backed by my powerhouse 10-piece band and incredible vocalists. Now, this is a very limited season engagement, and it starts September 4th.
Hey folks, guess what? It's fall in Branson and it is not too late to plan your fall vacation. And so there's still time to do that. You can go to ibranson.com or call those folks at 877-ENTERTAIN. They can help you with D&Z tickets, your hotels, other shows, attractions. Sometimes they're even offering 50% off discounts to restaurants. And so it's just great service from local people here in Branson, Missouri. The leaves are changing. There's fall festivals. You can come see the pumpkins out at Silver Dollar City. Now, if you're like, hey, I can't come in this fall, guess what? We've got Ozark Mountain Christmas starting November 1st. And so you'll want to come to Ozark Mountain Christmas where you can see lots of Christmas lights, Christmas shows. It's a great place to shop. And most everything is open in Branson. So if you're like, man, should I come? Should I not? People are social distancing here, practicing great COVID standards. And so you'll want to come have fun in Branson. It's no fun to stay at home and watch the news. If you think that's fun, write me and tell me how you get fun out of that. By the way, you can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/PlayBranson. Like us. If you have an artist you want to see on the show, let us know. We're also on YouTube. We have our PlayBranson.com, and you can even find our magazine out there on the Rex called PlayBranson. We appreciate your support. Love to hear your feedback. And one other thing, if you want to go to Dean Z's website, you can go to deanz.com and you can buy his music there. I know you're going to enjoy it. Be sure to check him out while you're in Branson. We'll be back next week with more Play Branson.